There must be an end to every story. Sadly, that holds true for even The Handmaid's Tale. The sixth and final season of the show was announced prior to the release of Season 5 earlier this year. Longtime fans will hopefully be satisfied with how this wraps up June's story. So stay with us for a few minutes to learn all the interesting details about the finale of one of Hulu's best TV shows. As is customary, we will begin with a brief recap of the previous season. You received diapers. The Handmaid's Tale has become one of television's most popular and entertaining shows in the past half-decade. We were shown the ugly side of the theocratic dictatorship's cruel and exploitative society in the dystopian drama. The story is similar, in some ways, to the current political climate. However, politics aside, this series examined and demonstrated what would happen to the world if it were ruled by a monarchy that was unchallenged by the masses. Over the course of the previous 5 seasons, we were shown that the steadfast rebellion did everything in its power to not only check but also to overthrow the male-dominated regime that controls Gilead. Consequently, it appears that Season 6 will see the culmination of the events of Season 5. She is handmade by me. I am the owner of her. However, what exactly transpired over the past 10 episodes? The 5th season premiered on September 14, 2022, and the final episode aired on November 9. After Fred Waterford's shocking death, the story picks up, and June is determined to exact her vengeance on Serena while she still has Commander's blood on her hands. Luke and Maura will, however, attempt to contain June's rage because her rage will also alienate her family. Serena is mocking June from afar with notes and a determination to expand Gilead's reach to Canada while this is taking place. We saw that there were Gilead supporters there last season, but this season they are much louder. With big signs and marches, the Canadians are turning against the refugees and trying to drive the Americans out. Serena is promoted to a position of high diplomatic authority, and despite the fact that she is still very pregnant, she will attempt to bridge Gilead's gap with the rest of the world. And other than attending Fred's funeral in public, what is the most effective method of solidarity? After this, June and Serena will become embroiled in a conflict that continues throughout the remaining episodes. Once more, we waited patiently for a development in the plot before clicking the like button below the video. Actually, fans had been anticipating a real conclusion to this season for a very long time, and it came even after episode 5. Even though what we saw in the season finale was not a very good representation of the state of the world, we were able to see that there is still love and goodness. June and Nicole were safeguarded by 3 men, and Mark Dello risked his position to get them on a train. In order to ensure the safety of their daughter and the woman they adore, Nick and Luke will give up their freedom. Just so you know, Luke and Nick are both in love with Nicole's mother. Hi. This is only a brief summary of what happened in Season 5. I would love to tell you a lot of details, but I don't want to give away anything if you haven't started watching it yet. June and Nicole were safeguarded by 3 men, and Mark Dello risked his position to get them on a train. In order to ensure the safety of their daughter and the woman they adore, Nick and Luke will give up their freedom. Just so you know, Luke and Nick are both in love with Nicole's mother. Hi. This is only a brief summary of what happened in Season 5. I would love to tell you a lot of details, but I don't want to give away anything if you haven't started watching it yet. We can all agree at the end of this section that the actors delivered yet another outstanding performance in Season 5. However, the series was criticized once more for excessively delaying the story. You were blessed by God to be seen by everyone. Fans remain the same, but 5 seasons of 1-hour episodes aren't necessary to effectively convey the suffering of living in a patriarchal society with misogyny. And now that the big reveal for The Handmaid's Tale finale has been made, when will the 6th season be out? You may already be aware that Season 6 was approved by Hulu. However, the streaming service has not yet specified when the final season will air or how long fans will have to wait to find out how this masterpiece TV show will end. It's comforting to know that the Handmaid's Tale creative team and Bruce Miller will be able to decide how things will end for the time being. Miller and his team were producing the show once a year prior to the pandemic. However, the pandemic delays caused a 2-year gap between Seasons 3 and 4. After Season 4, things went back to normal. So if the team keeps up, the premiere of Season 6 may take place at the end of 2023. Therefore, at this point, we can only hope that Miller and his team will bring the series finale to life in a way that is both exciting and satisfying. That is also something that fans are eagerly anticipating. Don't stress. The success of this is very important to the leadership. What about the final series cast and crew? For the final season, it is anticipated that every major cast member will return. It's impossible to imagine the final episodes without Elizabeth Moss as June, O.T. Fag Bentley as Luke, Max Mangle as June's former boyfriend Nick, and Ann Dowd as Aunt Lydia, who ought to reprise her role. Additionally, did I overlook Yvonne Strahovski? Apologies, but she will reprise her role as Serena Joy Waterford, one of the series' most prominent characters over the course of the last few seasons. Sadly, following the events of seasons 4 and 5, it is not anticipated that some of the original cast members will return. Naturally, Joseph Fiennes, who reprised his role as Commander of Waterford after being brutally killed in the Season 4 final, is included in this. Additionally, Lexis Bledel played Emily, who left the show before Season 5. Naturally, and as always, there will be newcomers whose identities will be made public once the season's shooting begins. As I consider what I did, we carried out our obligation to get by. Maz has already stated that this season will be the most important one yet. The actress stated in an interview with Elle that you should press the notification bell and subscribe button below the video. However, Maz stated that they do grow in size with each season and take longer to produce each time. My brain doesn't work that way, so we don't usually jump around a lot in time. I'm thinking, what comes next? He stated Miller also spoke with Entertainment Weekly, and in a statement, he said that in the final season, June and Nick will need to figure out some things. She cherishes you. I cherish you. Because Nick and June constantly try to convince themselves that they don't need to be together, I think this is the most romantic season ever for them. And in the end, they fail completely. They completely fail. According to the showrunner, they don't even see each other in the last episode because they are so in love that they can't think about anything else. The final season of The Handmaid's Tale may set the stage for Testaments, the next Hulu series. Another novel by Margaret Atwood, this one takes place 15 years after the events of The Handmaid. Aunt Lydia tells the story, which is about Agnes, a young Gilead girl, and Daisy, who lives in Canada. As a result, the 6th season of the show will have a lot to do to set up the Testament spin-off, including Aunt Lydia turning on Gilead and